I still remember exactly where I was on September 11, 2001. I was in Melbourne, where I still live now. I was at my dad's place. I was up in my bedroom, top of the house, and I was probably staying up longer than I should have. And I had a sports show on the station. Sport 927 had a thing called Club Corner. And Tuesdays it was Collingwood. So I think, yeah, I'm sure it was Collingwood or Carlton. I think it was Collingwood that night. So we're sitting there and we're listening. It's the first week of the finals have just completed. I think they were talking to Noel Jutkins, who was then recruiting for Collingwood. And the newsreader at Sport 927 was named Trevor Himstead. And he broke in just to say that there'd been some sort of crash at the World Trade Center. A plane had gone into the towers, but at that stage, they weren't really sure what was going on. So he sort of, he came in and they talked about it for a little minute, and then they went back to Club Corner, and they're talking on and on and on. And then, they're talking about, Collingwood's recruiting, saying, we have a big recruiting for 2002. And then from the background, you hear Trevor Himstead, the newsreader, saying, "Oh my God, a second plane's just hit the tower! A second plane's just hit! A second plane's just hit!" He was looking at his computer screen where the news came up. And he must have been watching something because he's just burst in. And Club Corner Club Corner screeched to a halt. And I can't remember too much more of that because I remember being really tired and I couldn't really process what was happening. I knew something really, really bad had happened. I was 14 at the time. So I ended up going to bed. And I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes I wake up and check the time. And I turned on the radio and it was talking about bodies in the towers. And I remember just waking up the next morning and I went to the Royal Victoria Institute for the Blind, and my cab driver picked me up, Ali, and he had 3AW on. And eventually it all just came out, and the magnitude was just stunning. Apparently, my friend came into school on the train. They were absolutely dead quiet. Usually in Melbourne, trains at peak hour are just bustling, noisy, heaving masses of people. And that day it was just absolute silence. We had swimming at the aquatic centre, and it was open, but it was the most, still probably the most strange, one of the most strange and terrible days, and days after that I have been through. It was just, oh my God, it's one of those things where I still remember to the minute what was said by the newsreader the first I heard that anything was going on. So I just thought I'd put my memories, and obviously we must never forget. And the people I'm thinking of today are the fallen and those that died in the towers, the firefighters, the brave people that helped, the first responders, the FDNY, and just everyone that pitched in to help. So I will never forget.